Okay. So this is going to be a very unscripted, unplanned, unprofessional video. But I've been thinking a lot about it today, so I kind of wanted to just get my thoughts out loud. I've been thinking a lot about what is happiness? What is happiness? Jordan Peterson impression. Um, but I'm thinking a lot about what happiness actually is, like the definition of happiness, and if satisfaction and contentment and happiness are all, actually synonyms, or if they're different things, and if they are different things, what's the differences, and which one do I want? And more importantly, what's required for each of those things? So I'll start by giving my uh, unplanned kind of shotgun definition for each of these things. Um, well, I'll start by saying I've been trying my hardest for a long time since I came to the epiphany that happiness is the thing that all of our actions are aiming to achieve. I've been trying to define what happiness was and be all articulate and philosophical with it, but any definition of happiness is fallible. My first definition of happiness is it's a certain state of neurotransmitters. Um, but that definition could also be true of suffering or any other brain state that's not happiness. I used to say happiness was a brain state. That definition also could be true of suffering or guilt or, you know, excitement. So it's not exactly a brain state. If I am going to go with that definition, I have to say it is a certain concoction of brain activity that typically involves serotonin, GABA, oxytocin, all these different chemicals that feel good when they are stimulated in your brain. Um, but even then, I don't know if that is a direct definition of what happiness actually is, uh, because I don't know that it's inevitable that if you have all those conditions met, that you would feel happy. Perhaps the answer is out there, and I just have to find it. But I don't know if I would say that that is what happiness is a certain state of serotonin and oxytocin and different things in the brain. Um, I've resolved to saying I don't know what happiness is, but I can tell you for sure when I have felt it and what I think the common threads are. I have felt it when I'm on shrooms. I feel very happy. Particularly, I feel a sense of everything I have is just so abundant. I have a dog that's just the cutest dog, and I just love this dog. And my living room is just so great, and it's so wonderful that I live in this house, and it's so wonderful that I have a family who loves me, and there's this sense of like great appreciation for all the things I have, and no desire for anything to be added to what I have. That is how I feel on shrooms, and I would describe that feeling as very happy. I've also had that feeling sober, of course, just gratitude journaling. I would say the best moment of my life was sober while gratitude journaling, when I just realized how everything I had was just so great and I was so appreciative, and I just felt like I had won the lottery of life circumstances. That felt pretty happy. I also feel very happy when I'm sitting with my best friend and just like laughing super hard. That is happiness. Uh, the feeling I have when I achieve something that I am very proud of myself for. That's happiness. And all these things are very different. I mean, being grateful for my living room and my house and my dog is a very different thing from like laughing my ass off with my best friend. But both those things are happiness. So I don't know that I've worked out what the common thread is, like isolated all the other stuff and just this is what the happiness is. It may be neurochemicals. I don't know. But moving on, contentment, I would say, is lacking any. desire for things to be different than how they are right now. I would say you are content when you don't want anything to be different, and you lack a desire for things to even be the same. You just are completely impartial to things being different than they are now. Now, I think when people use the word content, they're also adding on, and perhaps I'm doing it. I'm kind of discovering what I'm thinking along with you guys, but there's kind of a added thought of positive affect when you're content. It's not just I'm impartial to things. It's I don't want anything to change, and I feel like a positive sense about how things are. Um, and I don't know that I can distinguish content and satisfied, or contentment and satisfaction. I would say, yeah, I would say they're the same thing, because I would say satisfaction is just a complete acceptance of things the way they are with a lack of desire for change. And importantly, though, I would say both of those are on a scale. I would say there is a point where you are like at 100% on the satisfaction scale, and you are like actively satisfied, like, period. You're just satisfied. You're actually fully there. There's also like a large area on the scale of gradation where you can be like pretty satisfied but still have desires, and pretty content, but you'd actually like one or two things to be different. Where the optimal place on that scale to be is, I don't know. I would think 100% satisfied and 100% content is the best place to be, because the only thing you could hope your desires to get you is satisfied. I think. I don't know. I don't know anything, is what I'm realizing. But to get to the point of this video, in the past, I had, when I was journaling, that was the best moment of my life. I was journaling, I was saying, I'm grateful that I have a body that works, I have a family who loves me, and I have security for my safety and my health, and oh my goodness, how great is that? My life is great. And I was grateful for all those things. Fast forward to now, I have all that same stuff, and arguably, on paper, I have a lot more. I'm no longer living in a van. I have, I don't have to worry about things in the van breaking or bad weather in the van. I don't have to worry about sleeping in a parking lot. I was getting bad sleep. I was less healthy. I was, you know, I had less stuff then than I do now. And on paper, my life's a lot better. I have a job that I like. I have a beautiful house that I dreamed of having. I'm less lonely now, or I'm less alone now than I was then. Distinction being that I didn't really feel lonely then, and I kind of feel lonely now, even though I'm around people more often. All this begs the question of, like, what is the necessary circumstance for happiness? Because I had less then on paper than I do now. So it doesn't make sense to me that then I was way more happy and content and satisfied, because it should be that, I know some people, Roman, don't like the word should, but according to my calculations, I should be more satisfied because I have more of the things that I want now. But I'm not. So is it a matter of then I was just putting more effort into actively bringing all that like gratitude to the front of my mind and reminding myself that, you know, this health and this body and this life that I have is fleeting, and I was more grateful for it because I was thinking about it more then? Um, or is it the case that I've added stuff to my life that actively makes it worse? Like, maybe being around people makes my life worse, or maybe having a job makes my life worse, or maybe being healthier makes my life worse. Hopefully that sounds as weird to you as it does to me, because that doesn't make any sense. Um, but I don't understand what what is it that causes happiness. Because it can't be once you have, this long list of material things. That can't be what it is. Because I have just the same material things as I did when I was the happiest as I ever was, as I do now, and I'm less happy. So it can't be having that stuff. It has to be having that stuff and appreciating it at the very least. But I would say now I have all that stuff and I'm at least aware and grateful for it. I could tell you like the same list of stuff I had then. I could read to you now and say, I am grateful that I am not paraplegic, and I'm grateful I have a loving family, and I'm grateful for my dog, and I'm grateful for my health. But then I felt it so much more than I do now. And it's that like qualitative shift that confuses me, because categorically, same stuff. I have same things. I categorically feel the same way towards them, which is grateful. But quantitatively and qualitatively, it's just way less extreme. My appreciation, my gratitude towards them. So why is that? And how, like, what was I doing that made me successful then that's making me fail now? I realize that I'm going to post this for people to watch that have no answers to this, and I am the one who has answers to this, if anything, but I don't. So maybe this will be good for me to look back on in the future when I do have an answer that I can share, and maybe it'll be insightful to people. But question of the day is, why, if I have everything I ever wanted, am I less happy now than I was in the past when I seemingly had less? Talk to you guys later.